Welcome to Anytime Fitness Girrawheen. Nick Ritchie here presenting the information. Today we're going to be going through the secrets of fat loss using the Perfect Health Blueprint. Now, what is the Perfect Health Blueprint? The blueprint is really the blueprint that everybody can follow in order to get the fastest results in the least amount of time. Whether you're wanting to tone, firm, and trim those body areas where you're just not that happy with, or maybe you've been neglecting your health for a few years and you're wanting to improve the health of your body. Maybe you're just wanting to build more muscle to get that firmer body, to create that more toning, that more shape. Maybe you're just wanting to have more energy. Maybe you want to feel more vibrant, more vitality. Maybe you just want to be able to go longer throughout the day. Whatever your reason is, I want you to be able to see clearly how this blueprint can help you to get the results you want. Either when you look in the mirror and you're really happy with your body and the results you've achieved, or whether you can just hear yourself saying, yes, I know, this is it, I've finally reached it. We want to help you to create the results you really want at Anytime Fitness Girrawheen. So if you're not already a member, then I'd encourage you to decide to become a member. And as a little gift, we have a little gift for you, actually a big gift. We have a gift for you for continuing to listen to this webinar all the way through. We're going to be covering some excellent information over the next 30 to 40 minutes. So stay tuned, because by the end of this webinar, we have a special gift for you. And you'll get that by continuing to listen on and continuing to interact in this webinar. Okay, so we really want to help you to get the best results through exercise. Food is also, there's some food guidance here. So I remember when I was much younger and I had just gotten out of working in the physical jobs. I was doing a bit of farming as a young teenage lad, milking cows at 5 a.m. in the morning. But as a couple of years went on, I found myself really living in a sedentary lifestyle, in an office-like lifestyle. I'd wake up, get in my car, drive to work. I'd see the sun coming over the horizon. I'd feel the coolness of the frosty air in New Zealand on my skin. And I would hear the sound of the music blaring, trying to wake myself up, you see. And I would reach the workplace and literally I'll be either sitting or standing around all day. And so what this type of lifestyle really produces is, well, we all know, we only have to look around to see what this type of lifestyle produces. Low energy, tired, fatigued. You've probably felt this way before in the past, or maybe now. And maybe you just look in the mirror and your body just isn't the way it used to be. Or maybe it's not the way that, it's not the fit, healthy body that you've always wanted. Maybe you hear yourself saying things like, oh, you could do better. Or come on, you could be in better shape than this. Whatever your reason is for wanting to improve your health, I want you to place that into the forefront of your mind. As you go through this information, I'd like you to evaluate that information, this information that I share with you today, based upon what you want to achieve. So if you want to achieve, if you want to feel confident and have that healthy, toned body, if that's what you want, when you whip your clothes off to the beach and you want to feel confident and you want to hear the sound of the waves crashing and feel really good, they keep in the forefront of your mind. And as I go through this information, just evaluate it based upon your goal and ask yourself the question, will this help me to reach my goal? Whether your goal is to build more muscle, to be more firm, more toned, create some more shape, then picture that in your mind and relate that goal to the information that I'm sharing with you today. So one day, of course, I'm working in a pretty sedentary lifestyle type job initially, many of those years ago. And I'd have friends and they would come to work the next day and they'd say, oh, I just ran around the park and wow, am I tired? I said, oh, what inspired you to do that? I said, oh, just thought I needed to, get my health on track. And this one particular day, a workmate, it was a slightly larger fellow, and he hadn't been exercising in years, and he comes to work and goes, oh, I'm so sore. I said, oh, what did you do? He said, oh, I went for a run around the park, and I decided that if I'm going to exercise, then I'm going to go all out. and I'm just gonna go as hard as I can because I really want results fast. So I ran around the park and I ran around the park, and just when I thought I couldn't do any more, I continued to do more, and I just pushed myself, and I was so sore, and I was aching, and my chest was burning, and I was sweating, and oh wow, it was tough. And I got home and collapsed on the couch and fell asleep, and here I am now the next day, feeling feeling very sore. And his example is an example like a lot of us, right? A lot of us, when we first get started on some type of exercise program, you may be able to relate to this, that you go all out, you do too much too soon. And what is the result of that? Well, you send a signal to your mind that exercise equals pain, which isn't really a very good idea for long-term results. You send a signal that it equals a lot of pain, and chances are that if you pushed yourself really hard, that you're going to be pretty achy and sore, and maybe your energy will drop over the next week or so. So the idea that exercise improves energy is actually a little different, which I'm going to show you how to actually improve energy using exercise rather than to drain yourself of energy. So a lot of people do too much too soon. The body can also only lose a certain amount of body fat per week, which is around 3 pounds. So it can lose more than that, but 3 pounds is a pretty safe amount. So in other words, an average amount that people could be losing per week is about 300 grams or 500 grams worth of weight per week. Yeah, half a kg or a little bit less than half a kg. Now, so there's a lot of problems with going too much too soon. A lot of people, what happens? Well, they quit after a week, they quit after 2 weeks or 2 months. Eventually they get to a point where their mind just gives up, right? Because everything starts in the mind, motivation included. And if you set yourself up for a lot of pain initially, then all you're doing is sending a lot of messages to your mind that exercise equals pain. So you're just linking that up. Whereas really the two main motivators for human behavior is pain and pleasure. So we're either going to move away from pain or we're going to move towards pleasure. Now, the picture of that man running in that slide there, he's picturing in his mind potential pleasure. He's thinking, oh yeah, I'll be real fast and fit, slim, etc. And he's got this picture in his mind. He can feel how he would want to feel, etc. And so he's moving towards pleasure. But right now he's experiencing pain. But the problem is that you can only hold that pleasurable picture in your mind so long before, one day you wake up and you go and you start to remember, okay, well, the last time I exercised, well, that was painful. Well, that was tough. Well, I felt sore the next week after. So I don't recommend that you go all out from day one. It's not a good way to set it up. Ease yourself into it, which is what I'm going to go through now. And a lot of people also have negative weight loss from dieting. So I remember a flatmate of mine, she came back from the store and she put this big box on the bench and she said, oh, I'm doing this lemon diet, yeah? I'm drinking these tea bags for 7 days. It's going to help me detox and diet, lose some weight. That's what we call negative weight loss dieting. Traditionally, when people cut out a lot of calories, in other words, they just drop their food out, or they eat a lot less food, or they eat some zero-calorie foods, like quite a lot of the vegetables are zero calorie. It just means that they don't contain as much energy as they take to break down. So the amount of energy your body uses to actually break down these vegetables is actually more energy than the vegetables have inside of them. People will go from eating, fast food takeaways to eating vegetables all week, and they drop a lot of weight too. So, or some type of detox, like my friend. And yeah, she lost some weight, but that's what we call negative weight loss, because as soon as she throws the food back in, her metabolism slowed down and she'll just pile the weight back on and some. And that's what the research shows. The people who go on some type of fad weight loss or some type of detox, etc., tend to, pile the weight on and some. So within a 2-year mark, they've easily added more weight than what they had before they did any dieting or anything like that. And just keep in mind that 97% of people fail in their first, I believe it's in their first 2 weeks of starting a health and fitness goal. So if you want to be like the 3%, continue listening on, because I'm going to share with you how you can do that. Really, the things that we can change is food, which provides our body with energy in. So when we eat food, food has energy. You can imagine each morsel of food that you chew has a little energy ball inside it, and when you swallow that energy, you actually give yourself energy, yeah? So your body uses that energy for fuel. Number 2 is exercise, which is energy out. So when we exercise, we actually burn energy. So it's almost like you're burping out little energy balls, if you use that analogy. I don't know if that's a great analogy, but we'll go with it. So when you're exercising, you actually reduce, or not reduce the amount of energy you use, but you burn through energy. So it just means either you need to eat more food or balance out that whole energy and energy out equation, which I'll explain more soon. And enjoyment, you really want to be enjoying what you're doing. And that's why I recommend, if you decide to work with a personal trainer, you're going to find that you're going to have a lot more enjoyment, even if it's once a month or once a fortnight. If you decide to work with a personal trainer, you'll find exercises that you enjoy, programs that you enjoy, a plan that you enjoy, and you'll find that you'll actually enjoy your exercise more if you are getting results as well. And getting results comes down to following this blueprint, but also the advice of personal trainers at Anytime Fitness and Girrawheen. So the right approach, if you decide to join the membership, you're going to get access to this recording anyway, so you can always go back to it later on. The right approach is really where you use a combination of cardio and resistance training over a 10-week period. And if you were to look at exercise to start with and to really grasp it, energy out is when we do the exercise. So when we do some sort of exercise, we get energy out. When I first joined the gym, my first week, I was so hungry. I was so hungry because I'd been exercising pretty avidly in my first week. And keep in mind, my first week of exercise, I still had no idea what I was doing. I was doing what everyone else was doing. But I was really hungry, and that's because the exercise was causing me to burn a lot of energy, and I wasn't replacing that energy with food. So, energy out, cardio, resistance exercises, and what does that have to do with your metabolism? So cardiovascular exercise is really 3 types, just to keep it really simple for the purposes of this presentation. Obviously, there's more. Fast walking, jogging, and interval exercise. Fast walking, here's some benefits of fast walking. So I remember that I would spend a little bit of time on the treadmill when I'd push the button and I would start a fast walk, either on an incline or flat, walking up a hill or flat. And the thing about fast walking is that when you're fast walking, you're walking fast enough so that you're at a pace where you have to, breathe every now and then and take a breath like that, yeah? And that usually has your heartbeat around 120 beats per minute. Per second? No, per minute. Okay, no, that's actually per second. I'm just playing. So, per minute, yeah. So let's continue on. So with the fast walking, it really has a fat burning effect during the time that you're fast walking. But as soon as you get off the treadmill or you stop that recumbent bike, then the effects stop. So the fat burning stops. Whereas if you do interval exercise, you might, walk one power pole, sprint another power pole, use the treadmills at Anytime Fitness and Girrawheen actually have programs where you can actually set them so that they create the interval for you. So it beeps and the interval starts. And intervals really just mean that you're running and then you're walking, running and then walking, running and then walking. So like a sprinter on a track, yeah? They do a short burst and they have a rest. Short burst and they have a rest. What this does is this actually elevates your metabolism for up to 72 hours. What that means is that the food that you eat, energy in, the energy that you consume through food, is actually more likely to be burned out than it is to be stored. And so it has longer effects than just the fat burning zone that you get into through fast walking. So that's really cardio. That's how we cover cardio. But resistance exercise, there's a lot of ways you can place resistance on the body. You don't have to go in and pump a lot of heavy weights. At Anytime Fitness Girrawheen, you can actually use your body as the resistance. And you can use medicine balls as well. You can use, Swiss balls. You can use all sorts of plyometrics, which are, if you decide to work with a personal trainer, when you decide to join Anytime Fitness Girrawheen, you'll also potentially you can get some plyometric exercises, which is resistance using your body weight. A little bit like push-ups, but a whole lot of other combinations added onto that. So there's a lot of benefits to resistance exercise. You have increased flexibility, so that's really important to help prevent injury. Greater strength, which helps to improve your bone mass and your bone strength, which is going to help you long term. It also helps to improve your metabolism, so the actual more muscle you have, and we're not talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger or having bulky muscle, even just toning and some firming, that extra toning and firming, that extra muscle will actually help you to improve your metabolism so that you can literally burn fat while you sleep. And the only way you can burn fat while you sleep is if you're doing resistance training. So if you would like to burn fat while you sleep, I'd recommend that you start resistance training now. If you don't know how, I'd recommend that you decide to work with a personal trainer and ask us at the gym about our personal trainers, expert personal trainers that can help you to burn fat while you sleep through resistance exercise. It also decreases depression because your body releases endorphins and hormones that make you feel really good. That's pretty cool. And there's a saying out there, muscle is medicine, which, that really rings true. So that's resistance training for you. Now, here's how you approach a 10-week program, yeah? Here's how you can approach it. If you haven't exercised ever in your life, then you would start off with 1 to 2 cardio sessions. This might be, cardio would be like a walk on the treadmill or, pace on the bike. We have, different equipment you can use. That's a lot of fun. You can change around each day. We've even got this special game bike over in the corner of our gym, which is a bit of fun too. It's like playing a video game, but you're actually biking around yourself. So you jump in for that week, you do 1 to 2 cardio sessions. So whether it's a walk or a bike, you might take 10 minutes or so, 20 minutes, and then you'd hop off. You do 1 to 2 resistance sessions. So you do a little bit of resistance. If you haven't exercised in your life, you do some plyometrics, which is just some body weight exercises. You might do a little bit of dumbbells, a little bit of cables here and there. And so if you decide to work with our personal trainer, then you'll instantly get a plan. You'll be shown how to do all these exercises, show how to do it. So you've got a step-by-step plan on getting the results you want. So then by week 3, notice the cardio is bumped up a little bit. So by week 3, you're doing, say 3 cardio sessions. So what's that? 3 10-minute walks, 3 20-minute walks per week as an example, or 1 walk, 1 bike, 1 rower. You do some resistance training. So you bump it up 1 more. By week 5, you're still doing 3 resistance trainings per week. You might have started to use some barbells in the gym. You might have started to use a little bit more heavier weights because your body's getting stronger and it's getting firmer. And when you look in the mirror, you see what you want to see. You see that firming and toning and shaping that you wanted. And the cardio, of course, you bumped it up to 4 days per week. And you're really feeling the energy now. You're really feeling that energy increase through your body. You're feeling the benefits at your day job or your day business. And by week 7, you're up to 5 days of cardio. Resistance training, you'll notice it stays the same. Not a lot of people need to necessarily do their resistance training 5 days a week, although you can if you want to. But not a lot of people need that. If you're just wanting to tone, firm, shape, and recreate your health, boost your energy, then resistance training doesn't necessarily need to happen. For the purposes of fat loss, then you want to continue increasing your cardio intensity or duration, so the amount of time, which is 10 minutes, bump it up to 15 minutes, etc., or the amount of sessions that you're actually doing. So in week 7, in this example, you've gone from 4 sessions on week 6, bumped it up to 5 sessions by week 7, and they might just still be 20-minute sessions, yeah? By week 9, here we go, 6 days of cardio, resistance stayed the same, so you're noticing the pattern here. You're noticing the pattern that over the course of 10 weeks, you're actually starting off at 1 to 2 days worth of cardio and resistance, and by week 9, you're at 6 days, 5 to 6 days of cardio. So that just means 5 20-minute walks per week as an example. And what you've done is you've actually slowly increased the amount of exercise that you're doing. And what this will do is this will help you to increase pleasure, associate pleasure to exercise. You'll be learning new things, you'll be having some fun, enjoying yourself. So it'll help from a psychological perspective. You're also easing your body into it so you won't have the really sore, painful experiences that a lot of people have when they go all out, all in, etc., and they do too much too soon. So by week 10, you should have the success you want. So that's really a really good formula. Now let's crack into the key is really lifestyle change. So you really want to be approaching this from a lifestyle change perspective. So it's not about going all out, and training 7 days a week and training 2 hours at a time, etc. Because think about it, in 10 years' time, do you still want to be training that same way? No, of course not. No one wants to be training 7 days a week, 2 hours a day, not unless they have, they're an Olympic athlete or something like that. So lifestyle change. So what you're doing is over the 10 weeks, you're increasing your cardio up. You might be doing 5 to 6 sessions of cardio per week, got some resistance training at 3 days per week, 4 days per week or so. And as time goes on, you may lower your cardio a little bit because your fat loss may have reached a point that you're happy with. And what I recommend is that people actually increase their cardio up to week 10, and then they decrease it back for a few weeks, to maybe 4 sessions, and then they bump it up again, and they start increasing their intensity, which is the amount of energy and effort and mental focus that you put in your exercise. And it's like watching the guy kind of just go through the motions of the gym, or the guy who's like, boom, I'm really going to make this happen, I'm going to put in all my effort, I'm going to put all my energy, I'm going to get results. So that's the difference, intensity, yeah? Intensity level 2 versus intensity level 8, 9, 10. So the key is lifestyle change. Set yourself up. We can easily provide you with a lifestyle program at Anytime Fitness Girrawheen, so please do continue listening on, because we have a special gift for you at the end of this webinar. So how to burn fat using food. There's really 2 key points. The first key point is the glycemic index, which we'll go into, and that has a bit of an impact on our health. And the next one is food types. Now, just keep in mind that 97% of people are failing at their health and fitness efforts, which also implies food. And as you notice over on the left-hand side, you've got a pyramid there, which water is the most important. You want to be drinking 2 to 3 liters of water per day. You want to be drinking 2 to 3 liters of water per day. That's really important. Then you got plenty of fruits and vegetables. These are what I refer to as real foods, because they look like Mother Nature. They don't look like they came out of a box or a package or a process by some sort of big manufacturing food company. This is really grassroots information, to be honest. This is what you would call the type of information that's really going to help you take your health, perhaps your body results, to the next level. Next, if people are eating animals, then if you are, I'm not here to impose whether I consider that to be a good or a bad thing. What I'm just going to share with you is that real foods are what we consider the foods that look as close to Mother Nature as possible. Then you have the healthy fats up top. These are fats like avocado, almond, olive oil, etc. And we're going to go into more detail about all of this soon. So the glycemic index is what I want to cover now. And have you ever had an energy drink? Have you ever seen somebody, glug, 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 have an energy drink? And then they're like, whoa, lots of energy, and they're running around. And then what happens is they go, they're asleep, right? They're asleep. Half an hour later, they're gone, lights out. Either that, or they get cranky, tired, irritable, etc. I used to see this all the time when I would, like I shared with you, I went into more of a sedentary type of position for a short amount of time. And my workmates, I would look around and they'd be sculling these energy drinks. They'd have like 3 a day, right? And they'd have 3 a day because the red line imposes the energy drink, which is where their blood sugar levels spike all the way up, which means your body goes into fat storing mode, and then their blood sugar drops all the way down, and they go into, no energy, so they lose all their energy, but they also go into muscle wasting mode. So literally, as your blood sugar spikes up, blood sugar is implying the amount of energy that's flowing through your body, the amount of sugar that's in your blood. Yeah. So sugar in your blood is really a problem. So we want to try to avoid sugar in your blood. And some foods have more condensed sugars or sugary type compounds. And so the difference is that some foods will spike your blood sugar and make your body basically go through a cycle over the day and week and month of constantly storing fat and losing muscle. The problem is what's muscle good for? Burning fat while you sleep. So if you really want to burn fat while you sleep, then you want to try to keep your glycemic index, or I should say your blood sugar levels, where that green line is. The green line, yeah? The green line looks like it's a horizontal line pretty much. So that's really where you want to keep your energy levels at. So let's go to the next page, because we're going to go into, so here's some common high GI foods, chocolate, cake, these types of things. The processed foods, yeah? And by the way, fruit juices, they're not really made out of fruit, really. These days, they're more made out of concentrates, and they actually add vitamins to it because, yeah, anyway. So mainly they're just sugar water. Okay, so the high GI negatives. The problem is, which I shared with you earlier, the energy drink guy, glug, 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 drinking all that energy drink has a big loss of energy half an hour later. So what's the point in really drinking it if you're going to have a crash later? There's no point. Unstable mood, so irritable, groggy, tired, frustrated, angry, etc. This isn't the way we want to feel either. And, fat gain, that's not something that we want. So when your blood sugar spikes up high, you get all that, your body goes into fat storing mode, so you want to avoid that. Now, when you eat a sugary food, it's basically getting transported around your body, yeah? So what happens is when you eat any type of food or any type of, basically any type of food, what happens is your body will transport it like a train, and its first stop is your muscle cells, and second stop is your fat cells. Now, if you don't do any resistance training, the chances are that your muscle cells are closed off. They get a big stop sign. The tracks don't even lead to your muscle cells at all. Now, that's why earlier I said muscle is medicine, because your muscle has the ability to actually store and to burn up, and it has the ability to kind of put away things that don't really need to be in your system. So muscles are more useful than just for looks. There's a lot of health benefits to having some muscle. Again, when I say muscle, I'm not talking about big and bulky, just if you have some muscle on your frame. And you know that because if you push your finger into your arm, etc., it doesn't go all the way to the bone necessarily, so you can actually feel some muscle on your legs or on your arm, etc. Fat cells. So otherwise, the food that you eat just gets stored in your fat cells. So that's why if you decide to work with one of our personal trainers, if you decide to join as a member of our community at Anytime Fitness Girrawheen, you'll get access to step-by-step plans on how to execute all this. So common low GI foods. The low GI foods really come down to these foods that don't spike your blood sugar level really high. So again, real foods that look like Mother Nature. They're more, they look much more close to Mother Nature. So you can see a good example of that picture there. Basically, we're talking about fruits and vegetables. More vegetables, less fruit, but fruit is still, all good. So the positives is that you're going to have more energy. So you're going to have more energy throughout the day, and then of course, you're going to sleep more deeper as the day as you want to go to sleep. It's going to stabilize your mood, and it's going to help with fat loss. So that's really the blueprint, yeah. So the food types. Now, there's protein, fat, fiber, and carbohydrate. Some people like to break these down and kind of hit numbers. Depending on what your strategy is, whether you eat animals or you don't eat animals, just depends on the way you might structure the way you're eating. But I'm going to give you just a really simple plan, some guidance and information here that you can take away today to start using. Now, if you're just plant-based, if you're a plant-based eater, then as you'll notice on this chart here, you got almonds. 1 cup of almonds has 20 grams of protein. A broccoli has 7 grams of protein. Hummus has 12 grams of protein. Peanut butter has 7 grams, etc. Tempeh 5 grams, etc. So all these plant-based, they all have protein in them. So you don't necessarily have to eat animals in order to get your protein needs in. So let me break these down for you anyway. So protein is really great for rebuilding your skin, hair, and nails. And I remember years ago, I actually spent some time working in health food stores. And the thing about health food stores is that you learn a lot really quickly. And women would come in and they would say to me, "Oh, look, my hair is breaking, it's got split ends, etc. And my fingernails are splitting and all that sort of stuff." And I said, right, well, that's a sign that you're low in your protein. You're low in what's called silica, and your body needs to produce silica, but it produces silica from you eating more protein or eating enough good healthy foods, that contain the right vitamins and minerals, etc. So you can get your protein from the plant, from plants, or you can get it from animals. It's up to you. But protein is going to help to improve your hair, skin, and nails. It's going to help to improve and strengthen your internal organs, and it's going to help your body to repair muscle tissue. Yeah. Now, good fats, skin elasticity. So this is that bounce, that elastic part to your skin where it bounces back. So healthy fats are really important. These are like avocado, almonds, olive oil, etc. And these are super important because they're going to help with organ strength as well, so your organs. But most importantly, I believe, is that they help balance your hormones. Now, when you eat an avocado, the fat in that avocado gets converted into cholesterol in your body, okay? Now, there's good and there's bad cholesterol. There's good and there's bad cholesterol. So all that stuff you hear about cholesterol, just keep in mind that they're probably referring to bad cholesterol. The good cholesterol is, here's why you want good cholesterol. You want good cholesterol because that cholesterol is then converted into the sex hormones, which is estrogen and testosterone. So if you don't eat enough healthy fats, such as nuts, seeds, oils, avocados, these types of things, then your body won't be able to convert the needed amounts of sex hormones to keep your mood stable. Because if anybody has ever lived with a woman, which women make up 50% of the population, so, and probably many of you who are watching this webinar are probably women too. So, we all know that at that time of the month, some women have their mood go, different. So what that also shares with you is that hormones affect mood. Yeah. Now, if you are eating more healthy fats throughout the month, chances are your mood will stabilize even during that time of the month, or at least more so. And there's some other factors to consider as well. So, healthy fats, really important to consume. Fiber is found inside all the fruits and vegetables. Now, there's more fiber traditionally in foods that are tougher. So a broccoli has more fiber than a banana. Bananas all squishy and easy to squish with your hands, right? But if you try to pull apart a broccoli, it's a little bit more solid, a little bit more tough, a little bit more dense. Fiber is like the kitchen bench top cloth, yeah? So you get that cloth out and you wipe the kitchen bench top of all the grime and the leftover stuff. So it kind of gets rid of all the stuff that you don't want in your body. It removes toxins, helps you to get rid of excess fats in your blood. Helps to cleanse your system and aid digestion as well. Regularity is really important these days. Things that actually slow down the system is things like alcohol. Yeah, so alcohol actually affects regularity. We're talking about number twos in the bathroom, but it's really important to talk about this because not a lot of people are really going into this information. So basically, if you want to be going every single day, sometimes at least 3 times per day. That's right, 3 times per day in the number twos in the bathroom. It's really important though, because the problem is that what they were finding is that a lot of people are reaching 60 years of age, 50, 60 years of age, and they have anywhere from 3 to 4 kgs of fecal matter still, hauled up in their colon. Why? Well, because over the years it's actually packed up inside their system and it's just become like cement. So instead of, being regular every day, it's actually been packing up over the years. And then it leads to problems like colon problems and bowel problems, which, later can lead to disease like colon cancer. So you need to be regular. It's really important, women and men. Coffee is also a bit of a problem. A lot of people drink coffee a day. Coffee has an effect like a laxative, like a diuretic. So it causes you to go to the bathroom afterwards. What happens if you don't have your coffee? Well, you don't go to the bathroom. There's a couple of things. Maybe reduce the amount of coffee you're having over time. So I wouldn't just cut it out straight away. That can lead to big problems. So, 1 week if you're having 2 coffees a day, reduce it down to 1 for 3 days and then 2 for the other few days. And then the next week, try to reduce it down to just, 2 coffees per day and then reduce it down to 1 coffee, after a couple of weeks and just slowly reduce it down until you're having maybe 3 coffees a week, something like that. And just reduce it down. For some people, they really should be off coffee completely because their bodies become so dependent on the regularity cycles that coffee produces. They can't go to the toilet at all if they're not having coffee. That is a big problem. That means that your body is addicted to the coffee in a very negative way. You should be able to be regular just from eating your fruits and vegetables. Yeah. So from eating your fruits and vegetables, you should be able to be regular. Some people will go to the bathroom a few times in the morning, and some people will go to the bathroom throughout the day. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you're being regular. Okay, good. Carbohydrates. Traditionally, I tend to avoid wheat-based products. There's a lot of gluten intolerances, and there's a lot of research that's pointing towards, especially genetically engineered. Now I'll get into that in a second, but for the most part, just be conscious of your amount of wheat that you're consuming in your overall diet if you are consuming it. If you're not consuming it, good. If you are, then just be conscious of it. I don't really think it's useful to have that type of product every day. Carbohydrate gives us instant energy and it helps us to store energy. So carbohydrates can be useful. All right, so how to burn fat using food. So really, the ultimate fat burning meal is a combination of really just fruits and vegetables, foods that look as close to Mother Nature as possible. So this is fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, oils, that sort of thing. So, you know, a plate of salad with some olive oil over it, and you might have a little bit of sprinkling of some seeds and some nuts, and that's perfect. If you want to add animals in there, then you know, you can go ahead and do that if you want to as well. Animal proteins, yeah, animals. So the key points that we've really covered is how to get the best results through exercise, which we've covered the full blueprint. Set goals every 10 weeks. So you want to set goals for yourself. Here's how much, you know, here's the sort of result I want to achieve. If you decide to work with a personal trainer, they'll give you a realistic goal setting session as well. Gradually increase your exercise. So don't just go all out from day one. Cardiovascular exercise, so use a combination of both, you know, walking, jogging, sprinting, etc., you know, sports, and some resistance exercise, using weights or body weights, that sort of thing. And burning fat using food, because by now with the exercise you're doing, you're already burning fat while you're sleeping. So you want to burn fat during the day, and you do that through eating low GI, through keeping your blood sugar level stable, through eating real foods, combining with your meals, you know, real foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, oils, legumes, grains, rice, etc., that sort of thing, yeah, and animals if you want to eat animals. So what does lifestyle change really equal? Well, really, it equals doing some cardio and resistance training every day, or maybe not every day, but every week. 3 or 4 times per week is considered a pretty balanced amount. If you, depending on your body type, etc., how your body responds to exercise and food. Low GI eating, so going for real food, and also mindset. So just approaching things from a mindset perspective of understanding how your mind works. Are you driving the bus, or is someone else driving the bus? Well, you're driving the bus. So this is, if you combine this overall holistic approach, you're going to get the results you want. And really, these two women are approximately the same age. That picture over on the side, notice the woman on the left, she's got like a Zimmer frame and an oxygen tank, etc. She's about the same age as the woman on the right. So who would you rather be? Who would you rather be? If you're a man, then consider, you know, just imagine that that's a man there, yeah? Imagine that it's a man version. Yeah. So that might be a big wake-up call for a lot of you. So really, are you going to be reactive or proactive with your health? Now, I did mention I was going to go over organic, and I definitely recommend that if you can strive for organic food, that you go for it, because there has been a lot of complications with GMO food, and I really don't think that the current governing bodies that have set up the food regulation industry aren't doing us any favors, because if they were, then we wouldn't have a 60% obesity rate across, or overweight rate across Australia now, would we? So I recommend organic. Stretch a little bit more of your budget for organic foods, and you will find that your body will thank you for it later on. I definitely recommend it. I eat organic personally, and the research is not conclusive with organic. So I wouldn't go out looking for the research, but I would go out looking at some of the research around the genetically engineered, which is also inconclusive, because some of the companies that produce the genetically engineered products, like Monsanto, which also produce Roundup, which is a weed killer, they're a chemical company producing our food, which is, in my opinion, not a very good idea. And currently they control a lot of the food they buy out farmers all the time, and they're really in the business of trying to control food. And if you control food, you control the population. So really, what I'd like you to just consider is that organic food is really grassroots, you know. So go shop at your local farmers market, find the biodynamic and the organic foods. You know, shop with these guys, vote with your money, and spend your cash on the organic foods. And you may not taste a difference, you may not notice a difference straight away, but over time you'll definitely notice a difference. Especially in wintertime when everyone's getting colds and flus, you find that because of the extra boost that organic has with all the soil and the manuring, etc., that they use to grow the organic foods, that your body will really thank you with the extra vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, all the really good stuff, which we'll go into in another webinar as well later on. But just keep in mind, are you going to be reactive or proactive with your health? Now, here's a special offer for you guys watching this. If you are a member of Anytime Fitness Girrawheen, then we'd love to offer you a free personal training session to help you kickstart your goals and to use the blueprint of perfect health. Now, if you're not a member yet, if you decide to become a member, or if you just want to try us out, whether you're a member or you're not a member, if you're not a member, then we would still love to offer you a free 7-day club pass, health club pass, at Anytime Fitness Girrawheen, and we'd also love to offer you a free personal training session. This is 100% free. So a personal training session to help you kickstart your goals so you can look, feel, and hear yourself, well, talking to yourself, in front of the mirror. And we all talk to ourselves, don't we? So you can really look the way you want to look, whether you're at the beach or out at the club or enjoying, time with friends and family. You can really feel confident about your body. Or maybe you just want to feel the energy, you want to feel vitality, and you really want to be able to go the distance throughout your day, throughout your week. Or maybe you're just wanting to, just hear yourself saying, yeah, this is it. I really achieve what I want to achieve. I really got the results I want, and I can achieve whatever I set my mind to. We'd love to help you to do that. So decide to take action. Call us on 9343-4903. That number is 9343-4903, or email us at Girrawheen, Girrawheen, at anytimefitness.com.au. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to offer you a free 7-day club pass and a free personal training session. So get into that, decide to take action, and give us a call or send us an email or stop by the club. And we'd love to catch you soon. And we will catch you again for another webinar like this. See you soon. Bye-bye.